An offer that you can't refuse. I want to welcome you to Index Card Insights. This is episode 76, and it is a fine Monday evening. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Again, this is episode 76 for Index Card Insights and about an offer that you can't refuse. So, I've been watching this show recently. It's a biographical drama. It's called The Offer. It came out last year, but it's a 10 episode series, and it's about the making of The Godfather by Francis Ford Coppola, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. Most people have seen The Godfather. If you haven't seen The Godfather, you should go check it out. It's a great movie. But The Offer is about the making of The Godfather. Now, it's a biographical drama, right? So it's not a documentary series. It's a 10 episode biographical drama. So what that means is it's actually has actors, it's a portrayal of that. Kind of like, they made that movie The Titanic about the sinking of the Titanic. Well, this is a biographical drama about the making of The Godfather. Now, I got 3 insights for you about this show. Anyway, let me explain the show. It's a great show. First of all, it's a great show. It's about the making of The Godfather. I found it very interesting. I'm not quite done with it. I'm about 6 episodes in, and it's really cool. And here's the genius of The Offer, right? The Offer is a show about the making of a movie, right? And I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that is that's a tactic that marketers have been using for a long time, and product creators have been using for a long time. And it's something that I've used to great success over the years. But what am I talking about? What's this tactic that they used, right? Well, that takes me to insight number one. All right. Insight number one, the story behind the story. Okay. We got to think about what The Offer is. It's a biographical drama, sure. It's entertaining, sure. It's a story, sure. But it's the story behind the story, okay? It is the story behind the story. How did they make The Godfather? It tells the story of the characters and the people, some of them larger than life, who actually made this movie happen, right? It's the story behind the story. Now that, like I said before, is a tactic that I know I've used multiple times to success. Think about this idea of creating a product. Think about this idea of creating your first special report, or creating your first video course, right? Think about the idea of doing your first audio training. You're gonna do a product, a digital product, and it's going to teach people something, right? It's going to teach people how to solve a problem. But what if, like, instead of just making that thing, you also documented the creation of that thing? Like, you told the story about how that thing came to be, what it took to make that thing happen, right? Would people buy that? Would people buy this extra piece of content? The answer is yes, because story behind the story matters. So, like I said, my first insight is the fact that when you create a piece of content, there's another piece of content that you have the option of creating, and that's the story behind the story. Now, how do you sell this story behind the story? Let's say you created a special report. Let's say you created a special report showing people how to get more traffic on the internet. Okay. Now, what you decided to do was take my advice, and you're going to make a series of videos. Maybe you'll do 4 videos. And in these videos, you're basically just going to talk about, the creation of your special report. You're going to talk about how you put together the outline for it, how you came up with what you wanted to talk about in it, the struggles you might have had putting it together, maybe like putting the sales page together, or the struggles you might have had, getting traffic for the ebook, or whatever it is, the creation of it. You're going to document this in these videos that you did, right? So now you've really got 2 pieces of content, don't you? Now you got the original special report, but now you got this other thing, right? The kind of creation of this thing. It's the story behind the story, the same way the offer is the story behind the story of The Godfather, right? So this brings me to insight number 2. How do you sell it? There's a lot of ways you can sell it. I've used a few of these ways myself, and I'll explain. But the first way I'll tell you is just to upsell on the front end, right? So if you sell the special report on the front end, um, so in our example, we're talking about a special report about getting more traffic, right? Now we know the people who are picking up your special report, they want more traffic. That's fine. But we also know that they invested in your special report. So it is very possible that they would be interested in an upsell to your special report that talks about the making of your special report, how this thing came to be, what are some behind the scenes aspects of this special report that they got in their hands. Can they get more? Is there a bigger, badder version of this thing that exists? Is some of that information going to be in that behind the scenes video? Because the thing is, if you did a video behind the scenes on a special report about traffic, right? If I was writing a special report about traffic, I guarantee you not everything's going to make the cut. Some of that stuff's going to get put to the side. And all that stuff that got put to the side is probably going to be in that little video series that I recorded when I show people how I put this together, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this. All these different things are going to end up in that little video series. That's a perfect upsell because, you know, if someone's already bought something, right? They're interested in more about that one thing. You know what I mean? That's like supplemental information almost. Oh, so there's more that exists behind this thing that I already like. How much is it? How do I get it? Right? Because think about who are the fans of The Offer? You know, it's the people who like The Godfather. The people who really enjoyed The Godfather, they want to watch The Offer. In fact, I bet you most people who watch The Offer think, you know what? I haven't seen The Godfather for a long time. Now I want to go back and watch the movie again. Right? You know, it's crazy. They made 3 of those damn Godfather movies. I wonder if The Offer will come back for a season 2 and tell the story of Godfather 2. You got to wonder. But anyways, the upsell is a great way to sell this kind of behind the scenes story behind the story content. Another way you could do it is just offer it as a bonus inside the original. Another way you could do it is to offer it as supplemental information. Don't position it as an upsell, but instead position it as supplemental information. But you still charge. I mean, it's still an upsell. It's just you don't sell it like some kind of like extra, you know, thing. You sell it as kind of a side thing. It's a side quest type thing. So there's a few ways you can position it there when we talk about upsells. Another thing you can do is this brings me to insight number 3, and this is case study, right? It's another way you can sell it is with a case study. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is, you know, when you do like a behind the scenes thing like this, and it depends on what you're doing, but I know me personally, like I've done like product launches where I said, okay, I'm going to do a product launch. I'm going to launch a product this month. I figure it's going to take me about 30 days to put it all together. So what I'll do is I will actually sell tickets to a behind the scenes workshop, right? And on this behind the scenes workshop, what I'll do, it'll be like a 30-day behind the scenes workshop for this particular product launch. So what I'll do is like every single day, at the end of the day, I will record a live stream video where, and this will be unlisted. The only people who have access to this video are the people who bought this behind the scenes workshop. And every day I'll record, I'll go live, and I will talk about what I did that day to move my project forward. So basically, they'll get to be there from the beginning all the way through to the product launch. So they'll be there with me the whole time. It'll be like a case study. Let me show you how to take a product to market, right? And you can do this for anything. You can do this for a blog. Hey, I'm going to start a brand new blog. I'm starting a brand new business. It's a blog. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to take you behind the scenes for the first 30 days of my blog. It could be anything. It could be a YouTube channel. It could be anything. And what you do is you sell tickets. You sell tickets for the first 30 days, right? And this is so easy, guys, because every single day you're pushing your project forward anyways. The only difference is what you're going to do is at the end of the day, you're going to do a live stream and you're going to update people on what you did that day. You're going to share your screen. You're going to show them the stuff you did that day for the project. You're going to show them how you moved it forward. You're going to talk to them about what you're going to be doing tomorrow. You're basically you're giving them a chance to ask you questions, right? If they have any questions for you, you're giving them a chance to ask you questions. But basically, they get to go behind the scenes with you while you build something and put it out there in the market, right? They are kind of living vicariously through you. But what you have to understand with something like this is that people who are not taking action are very attracted to people who are taking action, right? People who are taking action pull people around them, okay? So when you do like a behind the scenes for 30 days leading up to the product launch and you sold tickets, well, now your product launch or whatever it is you're doing, you got to remember something. Whatever you're doing is already in the black. It's not starting from zero now. If you were starting a brand new blog, it wouldn't be starting from zero because you literally sold tickets to the first 30 days of creation, right? Now, if you sold those tickets for $500, for $1,000, it's very reasonable. It's very reasonable. $1,000 for 30 days behind the scenes, group, just basically group calls, that kind of access to the person creating and person moving forward. But you could go cheap if you wanted to. You could go $200, whatever it is. You put 20, 30 people on that, and you're up a couple $1,000. You're up a couple $1,000, and you haven't even launched it yet. So it's a really, really valuable way to get up ahead of time. And it's all based on this idea of story behind the story. Same thing they did with The Offer. Same thing, man. Paramount Plus, they got a hit TV show, and it's all based off a movie that was created like, how long ago was that thing created? When did The Godfather come out? That was like in 1976. Hold on a second, guys. I got to look this up. 1972. The Offer came out in 1972, guys. It's a long time ago, man. Long time ago. But anyways, talk about like running out of ideas and just going back to a story that was already told and telling the story behind the story. It's amazing. But anyways, I know I've profited off of this idea, story behind the story, many, many times. And I know many other people have too. And that's exactly what Paramount did with The Offer. They told the story behind the story of The Godfather. I mean, think about how many ways you could do something like that. I mean, it's baffling. You could tell the story behind the story with Star Wars. You know what I mean? The story behind the story with Indiana Jones, the story behind the story with, Chinatown or Rosemary's Baby or whatever. There's 1,000 different ways you could go with that. It's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys are doing amazing out there. Get over to epicconversions.com. Check out the ECIC group calls. We do group coaching every single Thursday in group calls. Check out Hungry Like the Wolf. That's my new free offer over there. You can find all that stuff at epicconversions.com. And in the next couple days, guys, I have to warn you, I'm getting ready to put on a 5-day workshop all about AI and email marketing and list building. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And if you want to know more about my workshop, the best way you can find out about it is to actually get over to epicconversions.com and get yourself a copy of Hungry Like the Wolf, because that's going to put you on my email list. And that's where I'm going to be talking about my workshop. It's actually a 5-day challenge. It's not a workshop. It's a 5-day challenge. It's all about AI. It's all about list building. It's all about email marketing, and how to utilize AI with your email marketing and list building. It's going to be fantastic. But the only way to learn about this workshop is going to be on my email list. So make sure you get over there, get your copy of Hungry Like the Wolf, and get ready, because it's going to be coming in the next couple days. I'm going to be advertising it. We're starting it. It's going to be live. We're going to be starting it on the 29th of this month. So it's going to be awesome. So get on my email list and get ready. That's all I got. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. And I'll see you on the next episode of Index Card Insights. Peace.